Hello and welcome to License Stone and my dad listens to this. I'm Juliet the daughter.
That must make me Kevin the dad.
Why, yes, it must. And loyal listeners, as we said, we're taking a break from tribute episodes just for a little bit because we need an emotional break. And it's summer, and we want to be happy. So we thought we'd give you our first ever My Dad Listens to This summer special, where Dad and I put together our own lists of our favorite songs of the summer, or rather the songs we associate the most with summer. So Dad picked 10. I picked 10.
That makes 20.
That makes 20. And
That's
Dad,
math.
he used to be an accountant, can you tell? And Dad, do you want to talk to our listeners about how you came up with this idea as something that we should do on the show?
If I could remember what it was, yeah, sure. I don't know, it would just seem like, hey, we've never done this yet. We should do it because we've done our favorite Christmas songs, our favorite songs of
The past 10 years.
10 years. And so, let's do a summer one.
All right, well, since Dad came up with the concept for this, we're going to start with Dad's songs because I think it's only fair. So, Dad, shall we start?
Oh, yes, let's.
All right, you start us off.
Okay, so the first song, I have mine listed in alphabetical order. First song I picked was Bye Bye Wintertime by the Girls from the Clouds. And the Clouds are an Australian band that was around from 1989 to 1997.
Wow.
In 2005, Trish Young and Jodie Phillis had resurfaced as the Girls from the Clouds. They put out a 5-song EP called La 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 La. Then they broke up in 2007. But in 2011, the Clouds reunited and they've been going on ever since. And Trish and Jodie have been the mainstays since the band began.
Wow.
I heard Bye Bye Wintertime first on Pandora back in my Whole Foods sign-making days, before Bezos took it over and got rid of the sign-making. Anyway.
And the floral department. Thanks, Bezos.
And I think Pandora also played their song House of the Sun. And did you listen to the whole CD when I let you borrow, or just the one song?
Just the one song.
Oh, okay. Well, Anyway, so I heard that second song, House of the Sun, and that did it for me. And I actually found the CD on Amazon. Yes.
They own us now.
Yes, they do. Bastards. It was a little pricey, but it was an import.
Yeah.
And I thought I could not find it anywhere else. And I thought, okay, worth it. And it's turned out to be one of my favorite summertime discs, even though there's only 5 songs on it. And this is the opening track, and okay, I have to admit, it's much more of a spring song, but the references to the days getting longer, the sun getting stronger, walking around with not much on, and finding a beach to lie upon.
You're not going to do that in spring.
It's very summer. Well, they are from Australia, so, maybe that's a year-round thing. I don't know. Trish and Jodie have great harmonies, catchy songs, and they just rock.
I love those ascending guitar chords. They piqued my interest right away. This was refreshing to listen to because I listened to these out of order, and I had listened to this after listening to a song that's on the other end of the spectrum, but we'll get there when we get there because I don't want to spoil anything. What also makes this song refreshing is that they aren't being passive-aggressive towards wintertime. They genuinely love it, but acknowledge that the seasons must change. So they're going to enjoy this one. Get naked, put a flower in their hair, and lie down on the beach. This song made me excited for when we eventually cover the full album because it's happy music that makes you happy listening to it, and I thought they did a great job.
Well, we cover the full album. That's going to be an extremely short episode.
Maybe we'll stuff it with some Q&A at the end, who knows.
Or maybe, either that or maybe do a couple of EPs.
Yep.
Okay, next song for you to scroll and find. Dancing in the Street, Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. So
not in alphabetical order, really.
Well, B first, then D.
But what about C?
Oh, damn it.
So do you want to talk about Dancing in the Street and then go back to the other one?
Oh, man. Yeah, okay, all right. I made a mistake here. Okay, so this was written by Marvin Gaye.
Really?
Well, he had some help.
Okay.
Written by Marvin Gaye, William Stevenson, and Ivy Jo Hunter. And Marvin plays drums on this song because he started out as a drummer for Motown, and then someone realized,
hey, he can sing!
Yeah, he can. So it came out in July 1964 and went all the way to number 2. Kept out of the number 1 spot by Manfred Mann's Do-Wah-Diddy-Diddy.
Is that any good?
It's okay.
Okay.
Do-wah-diddy-diddy-dum-diddy-do. Hey, it was 1964, British invasion for, I think, any American song to make it that high.
Big deal. Okay.
That was. Okay. Martha Reeves said the way Marvin Gaye recorded it, it sounded as if he was singing it to a lover, but she imagined block parties and Mardi Gras. She asked the producers to let her sing it Her Way. Result, her and the Vandellas' signature song. It got inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 1999 and inducted into the National Recording Registry of the Library of Congress in 2006. And the immortal lines are "Summer's here and the time is right," and "Can't forget the Motor City."
I used to think it was "The Time Is Ripe" when I was a kid.
That could be ripe.
That could work,
It'd
yeah.
be pretty ripe. You know, you're working out all day in the heat, you are going to get pretty ripe. Mick Jagger took the first line, "Summer's here and the time is right," and incorporated it into the Rolling Stones song "Street Fighting Man."
Did they have to pay money for that?
I believe they did not.
Oh.
Now, the chunk of the bass and Marvin's explosive drumming are, to me, proto-metal. Plus, Ivy Joe Hunter is playing the tire iron, so how metal is that? Call me crazy, I don't care. I don't care. But, hey, Van Halen picked up on it, and they got a top 40 hit out of it with their 1982 cover. And then, unfortunately, in 1985... Oh, yeah, we're going to agree to disagree on this.
Don't ruin this for me. How dare you?
Well, you can defend your position.
Okay.
David Bowie and Mick Jagger foisted their god-awful version on the public, but it was for a good cause. It was to raise money for Live Aid because they couldn't be there in person or something.
Counterpoint, though, did that money from Live Aid really go to the appropriate people? I think Huey Lewis was onto something.
I think the Huster was.
Yeah.
Or Hubert. I don't know what his full name is.
Hubie.
Anyway. But also, one of the dumbest videos ever.
They're just... I'll defend it when we get there.
Mick still cannot dance.
Oh, no, he absolutely can't.
He just
No.
cannot. But there are people who think he's like the greatest thing since Fred Astaire. And
No.
And Bowie is just a tad better, but I did some research, and it turned out that they were making fun of each other's dance moves.
Which I like.
Okay, I thought Bowie made Jagger look pretty
good.
if that was his interpretation, and Mick was just, chicken with his head cut off dancing. Okay, defend your position.
Okay, but first the original.
Thank you.
I remember first hearing Martha and the Vandellas version in the classic Disney Channel animated movie Recess, School's Out. As the bell rings and the students run off for the summer, the song plays. I fell in love with it ever since. That and Let the Sun Shine In by the Fifth Dimension, and Robert Goulet, believe it or not, singing My Green Tambourine. Anyway, the version that I listen to the most is the cover that David Bowie and Mick Jagger did in 1985.
Yeah.
Because when I was in high school, I was going through my obligatory theater kid David Bowie phase. And him covering this song in my eyes meant he could do no wrong. Plus, it's just also cute to see him and Mick Jagger deciding, you know what, we're just going to dance and have a good time and sing this song we both really love. Just two dudes having fun as friends.
In the streets, too.
Yeah, so I
And
hadn't
they didn't
listened...
get run over.
I hadn't listened to the original in forever, and I love it just as much now as I first did when I heard it as a kid. From those opening trumpets, you're just immediately filled with happiness because you know what it means. Summer's here, and they're calling out for everybody to come and start dancing in the street. And Martha's voice is what makes this song. She just has the perfect voice to suit this kind of music,
Yep.
where you feel good as soon as you hear her open her mouth. It's an absolute classic, and I also think that this song should be played at weddings because it would get people to get up and go on the dance floor, especially a summer wedding. But even then, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, all right, DJ, play this song.
Either that or they just run all outside and just start dancing in the street instead of in the
venue.
VFW hall or wherever they are.
Yeah. Okay, we going to letter C now?
Yeah, we're going to letter C.
Go ahead, Dad.
Sorry. Cruel Summer Bananarama, which, yes, we covered this in our Bananarama podcast.
Yep.
But still, greatest bummer in the summer song ever.
We'll disagree, but we'll get there when we get there.
And I think I might have mentioned this last time. If not, yeah, I kind of lived through this back in my youthful days.
Oh, the Cruel Summer?
Yep.
Yeah.
Back when the summer that this song came out. I will go into no more detail.
Now, did you see this was used for the original Karate Kid movie? Or which one?
I believe it was, yeah.
And you
Yeah.
saw that when it came out too, right?
No, I did not. I didn't
Really?
see that until 1987.
Did you like it?
I thought it was okay.
Okay. I didn't remember that final showdown they have in the music video between the police and the trucker and how it all ends with happy dancing. Now, as Dad said, we covered this song in our Bananarama episode, and if you want more in-depth coverage on Bananarama, go listen to that. And I still stand by my opinion that the music video, when you watch it, it doesn't feel hot. And I'm spoiled because I watched the desert scene in Lawrence of Arabia and I need to get a drink of water. So it doesn't feel that oppressive. But I do like the opening hook with the xylophone a lot more. I think this isn't my favorite crappy summer song. We're going to know what my favorite is. Maybe it's because in my pick, the cruelty is happening to a real bastard. But I like how the girls get to have fun with the trucker at the end. I would dance to this at a party, but I wouldn't go seeking it out for summertime music.
Fun fact, I think they got coked out before they filmed the video.
It was the 80s.
Yep.
Well, 70s. Would you say 70s was peak Coke or 80s was peak Coke?
Started in the 70s and just spilled over into the 80s. I think it was required back then, if you were in a musician of any some sort, that you were required to at least have a sniff.
Unless you're Whitney Houston, because as she'd say to Diane Sawyer, crack is
whack.
Okay.
How'd that turn out?
Sorry, Whitney. Next track.
Girl from Ipanema, Astrud Gilberto, and yes, once again, we covered this on our Astrud podcast.
We covered a lot of these songs on podcasts before, but it's
well,
okay.
You know what?
Yeah.
I mean, lines like tall and tan and young and lovely, and that just sums up summer right there. And when she walks, she's like a samba that swings so cool and sways so gentle. Just great summer imagery there, which, I guess these days, if you look at that summer imagery a little too long, you probably would get arrested, I suppose.
Or you'd probably get, if you're just staring directly at the sun, you'd lose your eyesight.
Oh, I was meaning the woman walking down the beach.
Oh, yeah. But you probably could go blind if, she's that beautiful.
Plus, there's, pun intended, a Brazilian covers out there, but Astrud's is just untouchable. It just really, really is. And there's that boy from Ipanema, and
And, well, also, I will say, Astrud is from Ipanema, so it makes it even better. Okay, we covered this song already in our tribute episode to Astrud Gilberto, which, again, if you want more in-depth coverage on her, go listen to that. And I believe I mentioned in that episode how my first time hearing the song was in the film Catch Me If You Can, where Tom Hanks is trying to catch Leonardo DiCaprio at that motel. And when I first heard Astrud sing, I played those 10 seconds of that song over and over and over on loop on the TV because I was just transfixed. What makes this a summer song is the imagery it produces. A beautiful tan girl from Ipanema is walking on the beach, and she walks like a samba, swaying in the breeze. And then, of course, you have the bittersweet love story about the man who can't tell her that he loves her. The way Astrud sings is very much like she's almost mentally checked out with her voice, but it creates a gentleness like the waves on the sand or even that samba breeze. And the jazz instruments are soft too, with the piano, and the saxophone is a little bit loud, but it's not off-putting. It's to convey the passion. This is a classic song, and if you haven't listened to it, you really should. Next one.
Second most recorded song allegedly after Yesterday.
I'd believe that.
Next song, Hot Fun in the Summertime by Sly and the Family Stone. And didn't we just cover them a couple of weeks ago, it seems?
R.I.P. Sly.
Last month.
Last month, yeah.
Yeah. But, it's end of the spring, and here she comes back, and then at the end, first of the fall, and then she goes back, encapsulates summer romance perfectly. You always think it's going to last, but it just never does. And you're trying, and it's like you're drowning, and you're not going to get rescued, and you just got to let yourself sink to the bottom. Until next summer. Unless you're married or in a relationship, that is.
Then don't do that again.
But if you're like a teen,
you can get away with it. Or if you're in college.
But just realize it's not gonna last.
Yeah, or if you're in the situation where you're coming home for college for the summer. From college, pardon me. Okay, we already covered this in our tribute episode to Sly Stone about a month ago. Go listen to that episode for more in-depth coverage on that one, about him and his discography. This captures the happiness of a hazy summer. Yeah, the weather is hot and you're tired, but the weather's so nice you feel blissed out. The word high is obviously a double entendre, but hey, there are worse things people can do in the summer than get stoned. And that, oh yeah, gets me every time because all I can think of is Hoots the Owl from Sesame Street.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Good song if you're getting stoned with friends after school on a summer day, but this isn't my favorite Sly and the Family Stone song by a long shot. That'll always be a toss-up between Family Affair and Let Me Take You Higher, depending on my mood.
Interesting.
Which I think those are good choices, but I'm biased.
Okay, next, School's Out, Alice Cooper, which,
Yay.
yes, we covered on our Alice episode. And I think I said this in the podcast, but I'll say it again. I graduated high school in 1981.
And I graduated college in 2021.
So that was 44 years ago, but you know what? 44 years later, I still get that feeling of being let out for the summer every time I hear this song. It's just this feeling of liberation. It's just absolutely perfect. I mean, thank you, Mr. Cooper. Just thank you so very much.
This is always my go-to School's Out song, as opposed to the summer vacation song from High School Musical 2, which a lot of my generation would associate with Last Day of School. What time is it? Summertime. But no, I think why I love Alice's so much is under the joy of school being over is that current of pent-up frustration that the end of the school year didn't come fast enough. And now you can let it all out because guess what? For 3 blissful months, school has no say in your life and you can do whatever you want. Well, you still have to listen to your parents, but hey, there's no grade point average you have to worry about. And this song just rocks. I love how Alice sings, "No more pencils, no more books, no more teachers, dirty looks." And how the kids singing with him are just totally happy. And while Alice couldn't think of a word that rhymes, that's actually nowadays a funny unknowing nod to brain drain over the summer. Remember, kids, this song was written pre-summer assignments. I just listen to this song and start jamming. Forever iconic. I get caught up in it every time, and again, I've been out of formal schooling for 4 years now.
Oh, good for you, Jules.
Next one?
Starlit Summer Sky by Marshall Crenshaw. Now, Marshall's debut is one of the perfect summer albums. So I had a tough time picking one song. And technically, this song is not from his debut. However, it is an extra track on Rhino's 2000 reissue, which they just did an unbelievable job. You get the original album, then you get demos and live stuff, and a hidden track at the very end.
Ooh.
Yep. Now, Marshall would go on to officially record this song for his 1996 album, Miracle of Science. The demo's from 1979. But when he made the official recording, he retitled it Starless Summer Sky.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. I think starlit sounds more romantic and summery than starless, because I'm thinking if it's starless, that means it's cloudy out.
It's dark.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the other thing is like, and I think I spared you of this, either that or I don't know if you listened to Starless Summer Sky.
You didn't force me to listen to it,
Good,
so I didn't.
because he makes sure to enunciate the words starless and summer. It's not starless summer sky, it's starless summer sky. And it just sounds clunky and labored.
That's why starlit is better.
It is. And even if you just, I guess, elided or slurred just starless summer sky instead of starless summer would have helped a lot. As for the demo, Marshall plays everything on it. It's in mono, and it sounds just a tad tinny, but man, it's got a lot of heart, and it is catchy, and it is just way superior to the official release.
I mean this in a good way. This sounds like it would play in the opening credits of a 90s summer comedy.
I would go one better or one worse and say 80s.
Okay, but we got the same vibe.
Yeah.
I love this song. It's honest in its sentimentality, not cloying. Just one guy singing with a guitar and a drummer. And he sings about things that make me smile. You could easily interpret this as being about teen love, but I think it's about love at any age and enjoying the simple things in life, like watching the starlit summer sky.
Don't enunciate.
Lit. He also puts into words the moment where you don't need to say anything out loud. You can just lie there, and there's a shared understanding between you and the other person, which is quite beautiful. Made me smile and feel grateful for love in my life.
Good.
Next one.
Summer in the City, The Lovin' Spoonful, and the thing that amazes me is they're the only act that is on this list twice.
Yes.
Not the Beach Boys.
No, which I was
Didn't pick
surprised boy didn't pick any Beach
Well,
Boys.
I think because we just did the Brian Wilson episode,
Yeah.
and I think, I was going through their songs, and I thought, no, it really doesn't hit me as to like, yeah, I need to listen to this song
Every summer.
every summer.
Okay.
But yeah, Lovin' Spoonful. This was their only number one hit, and this song hit.
Really?
Yep.
Not Do You Believe in Magic?
Nope.
Wow.
And I think it was because this song hit a lot harder than the Spoonful's previous songs. Less folk, more rock, and it really took people by surprise. And then after that, they released Rain on the Roof, and everyone thought, oh, I guess they're really not going to keep rocking. They're going back to the folk stuff, which was fine. It was more like, I guess, laid back music. Anyway, lyrically, it's a song of contrasts.
Yep.
The daytime people look half dead. The back of John Sebastian's neck is getting dirt and gritty, and there's no shadows in the city. But at night, it's a different world.
Yeah.
The city comes alive, and John sings, quote, "It's a pity the days can't be like the nights in the city," unquote. Musically, like I said, this was hard rocking for the Spoonful, and the sound is big. And the bang at the beginning was created by sticking a mic in a garbage can and hitting the can with a drumstick.
Oh, that'll do it.
And the drums were recorded on the ground floor of a metal staircase where a mic was suspended 8 floors above because Zalyavansky wanted the drums to sound like trash cans. I don't know if they actually do, but they do kind of have a big sound, at the time, 60s, they did what they could with the equipment that they had. The band also wanted city noises added, hence the jackhammer and the car horns. And the band stopped singing around the 2-minute mark.
Yeah.
And the rest of the song is just a 42-second coda. It repeats the mid-break without the city effects and goes right back to the beginning of the song. Absolute masterpiece.
What's odd about this song is I remember the verses more than the chorus. This is a very accurate depiction of summer in the city, minus the noises of, even if you didn't have the noises of traffic and jackhammers, you'd still pick up on the vibe. It's the way they write how the city seems so grimy and stuffy when it's summer. I think they do a better job of that than Cruel Summer by Bananarama. And it's sung at a frantic pace the way cities can sometimes move. But then at night, the city takes on a whole different personality. I personally love nightlife in the city, especially on the east side. And I think my favorite moment of musical storytelling is how he rushes back to be with his girl up on the roof, and as the music builds, nighttime arrives at the musical climax, and there's a change in tone indicating they're going to have fun. Well-told story, but my favorite Love and Spoonful summer song is coming later.
Okay, and I never noticed that before, but yeah, when John sings about the daytime stuff, he's like really, But as soon as it's nighttime, he's a little more relaxed about it.
Yeah.
Good observation.
Well, plus also probably he's not at work anymore.
That too.
Next track.
Summertime, the Jamies.
It's summertime, 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 summertime.
Summertime, summertime.
Summertime. Anyway.
It's that song.
Yep.
Anyway, they were from Boston.
Really?
And they had one hit.
It was this.
And this was it. But what a hit.
Yeah.
It's shut the books, throw them away, no more studying, head for the hills, have some thrills, and telling the teacher to zip it.
Yeah.
What sass for 1958. Wow.
Hey, you're not going to see them again.
Nope. But all anybody remembers is that catchy chorus when they sing the word summertime about 87 times.
Yep.
And you will be singing along to it.
Yep.
It is useless to resist, so don't even try. And
Resistance is futile, yes.
I swear the Jamies sound like the Who's in Whoville.
I could see it, yeah.
I
Da Who Doris, yeah.
And to me, the one thing that I find amazing is how many rockers love this song. I remember ages ago, Rolling Stone did this thing asking famous rockers,
What's your favorite song?
And this song made so many lists. And the only person, unfortunately, I can really remember loving it was Steve Miller. And like I said, I wish I could remember more. But I'd like to think maybe Iggy Pop picked that tune.
I think Iggy would.
Yeah, I think he would, maybe. Bruce Springsteen has said that it always signaled the start of summer for him. And again, just an absolute masterpiece. And it's one of those things where, like, they wrote the one song that kind of set them up for the rest of their lives.
For better or for worse. I remember one summer they played this song on PBS Kids to a montage of their cartoon clips. And this song, or rather clips of their cartoons, this song just makes me happy. Every time I hear that man singing, it's summertime, 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 I instantly start smiling. I love how the voices start to layer and then blend, except for the lady soloist who stands out. I remember being like that as a soprano in choir. Anyway, what I didn't remember about this song was how there's a bit of ribbing, like saying, "Come on, you slowpoke, summer's about to start," and "Hey, teacher, zip it, it's summertime." There's also, the joy of not having to go to school anymore and saying, "Hey, maybe if there's some romance, why not?" I think what makes this song memorable is, again, the voices and harmony. It's cute and fun, and it feels like something for the kids without talking down to them.
And the thing that really surprised me was the zip it phrase, because I always thought, wow, I didn't think that was around in 1958. I thought that was like, Austin Powers with Dr. Evil just telling everyone to zip it. Who knew?
Well, that was technically 60s.
Yeah, it's true.
It's
Okay.
the beginning anyway. Final track of Dad's songs.
Walking on Sunshine, Katrina and the Waves. This was first recorded in 1983 for their Canadian album of the same title. It was just the four of them, and that was it. Then they re-recorded it for their 1985 American debut album called, wait for it, Katrina and the Waves. Kimberly Rue wrote it, and he said he usually didn't write songs like this, but it just was one of those things that came out. Now, he was the only one who wrote it, but the royalties were divided among all four band members. Good thing, too, because this was their monster hit. They had other songs that just kind of like were down in like the lower 30s, almost 40. But this, believe it or not, only made it to number 9 on Billboard. But it's had over 700 million hits on Spotify
Oh, yeah.
so far. So I think they made like, what, $1.57 out of 700 million hits?
Probably.
I have the original 1983 version, and I also have the remake. And this is one of the few times that the remake is so much better. Punchier sound, and those horns just bring everything to a new level. And don't it feel good? Yes. Yes, it does.
I used to have a toy singing flower that would sing this song when you push the button. And one time I said to Dad, "I want to give my flower a drink of water." And you said, "Well, it won't do anything then. It'll just be I'm walking on bleh." Anyway, the singer used to think that this person loved them, but now they're sure. So while they wait for the person to show up, they're walking on sunshine. A better way to think about it than walking on the anxiety of what if they never show up, which I think a dark version of this would be fun. Otherwise, this would just be a depressing song. But this is definitely a song that will boost your spirits. I think it's because of the joy that the lead singer has, especially while singing the woes. It's perfect for summer because of the sunny imagery. A very fun song.
Okay, and that's it for our... Oh, we got to do your songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll do your songs.
And mine aren't listed in alphabetical order, so I'm just doing the order that I emailed them to Dad as I thought of them.
Okay, good, because that's the order I put them in my notes.
Good. First one, Driving Around, the Raspberries. We covered this song when we did our tribute episode to Eric Carmen and the Raspberries, which you can watch on our channel. As I mentioned, this song was originally released in 1974. I've loved it ever since we first covered it on the show. This time around, you know what I noticed the most? How when school is let out, he's able to throw out his notebooks and get in the car. You wouldn't be able to throw out your notebooks nowadays because, as I referred to before, 2 words, summer assignments.
Oh, I thought you were going to say recycling.
Oh, no,
They
no,
just
no.
Toss them in the street and who cares?
You could recycle now, though.
Oh, summer assignments. That was one thing I really got lucky.
Yeah.
I never had them.
You just had brain drain instead. Just goes to show how much school has changed. But it puts me in a good mood. School's out and he's going to spend the night with his girl. Maybe go to the park, maybe make out in the parking lot after dark. It's just filled with the peaceful happiness that summer brings. Don't get me wrong, Alice Cooper's School's Out is still a great way to kickstart the summer with a happy and frantic energy. But this song I think about is what happens when that frantic, happy energy dies down. You're able to settle into the peace of knowing that summer's here. And the various harmonies singing Long Hot Days put you into that sense of ease as soon as the song opens. Great way to start out the summer that gets a little more peppy as the song progresses.
Yeah, this is a good choice on your part.
Thank you.
Yep, tape deck is blasting, car is fast, long hot days, catching the rays, and having the backseat romance. And you just want to be careful about the backseat romance because if you get jammed into some sort of position, then you could be stuck.
Or if you kick the car in reverse.
Urban legend here. There was one where these people were having a backseat romance and they got in this position where they got jammed. They could not get out.
Oh.
They had to, one of them somehow managed to reach their cell phone, had to call fire and rescue. They had to break the roof to get to the couple.
Oh my God.
And then the guy says, "Oh, thank God we're free." And the woman says, "What the hell am I going to tell my husband about that? What happened to the car?"
Oh
Yeah,
no.
so be careful with the backseat romance there, people.
I will.
Um,
Yeah, go ahead.
um, I would have picked cruising music for my if I'd been
Mm-hmm.
smart enough to pick a Raspberries cut. It's more of an ode to car radio, but car radio music always sounds best in the summer.
I have a emergency room urban legend. There was this couple who got stuck, and they bring the doctor, and the doctor is like, "What do you mean stuck?" Lifts the blanket. "Oh, I see what you mean. Hold on." Goes over to the ice machine, grabs an ice cube, throws it under there, popped right out. Anyway, next track, Sailing by Ronald Binge. This classical piece was composed in 1963. It's played before the late shipping forecast on BBC Radio 4. If the program preceding the shipping forecast wraps early, this piece plays on loop for filler. The tune is repetitive on purpose to help sailors easily identify the radio station they're tuning into. It was also adopted for the weekly maritime program Seascapes on Irish radio. It is thought of as a soothing piece for bedtime by many British radio listeners. The recording the BBC uses was previously only available in their production library, but since 1997 has been available as a track on the EMI CD set The Great British Experience. The version I first heard was recorded by the Slovak Symphony in 1994 for their record British Light Music. I find it very relaxing, but I associate it with the summer for two reasons. First, the arpeggios played by the flute sound like the ebb and flow of waves. Accompanied by chimes, it's the musicalization of sunlight dancing on the water. The strings also sound like they've been lifted from the Lord of the Rings soundtrack as you visit Hobbiton, which conjures an image of sunny sky and green pastures. If you associate it with sleep, though, I think it's perfect for unwinding on a summer night. And then the end sounds like the ship reaching its destination while the sun rises in the east. A pretty little gem of a song.
Yeah, this is a very calming waltz. I did a little research because I had never heard of the guy, never heard of the song. And when you mentioned about the BBC, at one point,
Yep, they took it off.
oh,
Controversy.
very,
Yes.
yes.
People protested. It was
Oh,
no
yeah.
joke.
Yep. Anyway, it's perfectly titled. It was funny when I first read this that you sent it. It was Sailing by Ronald Binge, and I thought, is he just covering the Christopher Cross song
No.
Sailing? And I realized, okay, no, because when I started typing it in on the interwebs there, that's what started coming up. But yeah, perfectly titled. It gives the impression of sailing boats on the water, and you feel like you are on one of those boats.
Yep.
And I wrote before you did your thing, probably helps people sleep too, which it's just so calm, and I don't mean that as an insult. It's just,
It works.
I really love this song. I am a
Yay.
huge fan.
Me too. Okay,
Thank
UK. UK listeners, that's 1 point for you. But don't forget we won the revolution. Anyway, next track, Sunny Afternoon, The Kinks. This is my favorite Cruel Summer song as opposed to Cruel Summer by Bananarama. Okay, we covered The Kinks way back in season 1 for our 13th episode when we were discussing unlucky bands. But even before we covered the Kinks in full, I've always loved Sunny Afternoon, mainly for how catchy the chorus is as they sing in the summertime. And also thanks to my friend Cass, I can sing in perfect harmony with the chorus. This was released as a single in 1966 off of the Face to Face album, which came out later in October of that year. It went to number 14 on Billboard. Ray thought the band was doomed because a lot of people would come up to him older than the typical fan demographic saying they really liked the song. The song references the high taxes of the Labor Prime Minister Harold Wilson through the lens of an unsympathetic aristocrat bemoaning his property loss. You can't feel too bad for him because just when you do, he admits to drunkenly beating his girlfriend. As for why I associate this with summer, well, I think the title should be pretty obvious, but also the way that the song is sung very languid, like when you become a bit fatigued due to the summer heat. And even though the song is bitter reality, you find yourself lost in the summer lull. I still love listening to it, even with the sober subject matter.
That Ray, such a scoundrel.
Yep.
He's lost everything but that sunny afternoon and apparently a bear. Yeah, I think the way he sings it, it's just like he can only care so much.
Yeah.
But I've noticed, like, when he sings help me, sail away, it's kind of like, I want my money back. Give me my money
I want
back.
my yacht.
Give me my life back. Wilson, damn it.
Is that your only notes for this?
That's pretty much it.
Next track, In the Cool, Cool, Cool of the Evening, Bing Crosby and Jane Wyman. We covered this in our episode on Bing Crosby. Listen to that episode for more in-depth coverage of him. It perfectly captures the vibe of a summer cookout, although the last time I listened to this song before the podcast was when Mike and I were coming back from the Festa in New Beige, absolutely stuffed, and we heard them listing off the ham and bouillabaisse stew, and we were going, ugh. Anyway, this song is by Hoagie Carmichael and Johnny Mercer. It was supposed to be in a scrap picture for Betty Hutton, but was instead used for the 1951 film Here Comes the Groom and won Best Song at the Oscars. Bing recorded his version with Jane Wyman, Maddie Matlock's All-Stars, and the Four Hits and a Miss in 1959, which I love that name for a group. It was on the chart for 6 weeks, peaking at number 11. It's the happy you feel knowing that there's going to be a summer party with some good food. And I never noticed about how this song is about party crashers, but that adds to the fun of the song. If there's food, Bing will find a way to be there. Perfect background music for a summer party that'll get you in the socializing mood, especially when it turns to nighttime.
Real polite party crashers like Frank bring the Rice Krispies.
Yes. Thanks, Frank.
Well, that was a roll or a log. He just didn't bring a box of Rice Krispies.
No,
he made something.
He made Rice Krispies that were rolled around a log of Nutella.
And they were pretty good.
They were.
Thanks, Frank. Whoever you are.
Wherever you are now.
Okay. Yeah, I have the Bing version, and then I also have a version of this by Rosemary Clooney.
Yes.
It's okay, but it's like the way that she sings it, it's like she's not too happy that she has to sing it, because she got saddled with a lot of like novelty stuff by Mitch Miller, who was the head of Columbia Records at the time, and that's another story for another time if we do a Rosemary Clooney episode.
Which we probably will.
Anyway, but Bing, he just brings it. He's like really into it. On one hand, he's so into it, but on the other hand, he's Bing.
Yeah.
He's laid back and calm.
And cool.
Unless you cross him, then he's going to take off his belt. But yeah, and son of a gun, Jane Wyman, first Mrs. Ronald Reagan.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Doing the vocals. And she does a pretty good job.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Going toe to toe with the Bing. Yeah, I kind of like his version better. I mean, no offense to Rosemary, but Bing, he's just feeling it, and it's like, hey, it's Bing Crosby crashing our party. Did you bring something besides
he brought
your
his
belt
voice, yeah. Oh,
and the orange juice?
at least it's Minute Maid.
Well, that's from concentrate.
Yeah.
Us real orange juice drinkers, we prefer Tropicana, not
I did
from
too.
concentrate.
Yep. I remember one time I was sick and Tyler brought me. He did
Sunny
bring me.
Sunny D?
No, he brought me Tropicana, but it was the reduced sugar Tropicana. It was Tropicana Light, and I just felt sicker drinking it.
Oh,
Anyway,
he meant well.
He did. Next track.
Don't listen to this, Tyler.
Nope. Sunny, Bobby Hebb. I first heard this song from the season 4 premiere of ABC's Scandal. The scene opens on Olivia Pope sunbathing by the beach on an unknown island off the coast of Zanzibar, wearing a white bathing suit, sunglasses, and having just finished reading her copy of Gone Girl.
Okay, I'm going to have to go look that up.
Her love interest arrives and they start getting more and more intimate. Shondaland knew what they were doing choosing this song. As for the song itself, it's a soul jazz standard written by Bobby Hebb in 1963. Its origin is actually quite dark.
It is.
Bobby's brother Harold was stabbed to death outside a Nashville nightclub, and he wrote the song to express his preference for a sunny disposition as opposed to a lousy one after his tragic loss. Quote, all my intentions were to think of happier times and pay tribute to my brother, basically looking for a brighter day because times were at a low. After I wrote it, I thought sunny might just be a different approach to what Johnny Bragg was talking about in Just Walking in the Rain. The song was recorded in 1966 as part of an 18-song demo by producer Jerry Ross. Performers include Joe Shepley, Burt Collins on trumpet, Mickey Gravine on trombone or gravine, Artie Kaplan and Joe Grimaldi on sax, Joe Renzetti and Al Gorgoni on guitar, Paul P.B. Brown and Joe Macho on bass, Al Rogers on drums, and George Devens on percussion. Everybody got that? Good. Joe Renzetti was the arranger, having the form modulate a half a step every cycle after the second cycle ending with a loop tag. The single was an immediate success, leading to Bobby going on tour with the Beatles that same year. It reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 in August of that year, behind the Lovin' Spoonful's Summer in the City at number 1. It's rated by BMI as the top 100 songs of the 20th century. As for me, what makes it a summer song is that bass riff followed by the short, sharp chords on electric guitar. It sounds tropical like a day at the beach. You're immediately intrigued by the opening drum roll playing in your right ear, and then Bobby enters quite loudly in the center for a delightful jolt. You feel the joy as the rain ebbs away and is replaced with sunshine. And Bobby's voice is so full of gratitude for the person he loves. My favorite lyric, other than "You smiled at me and really eased the pain," is "My life was torn like windblown sand, then a rock was formed when we held hands." It's a joyous love song without hyperbole or being saccharine, and it makes me sway and smile every time.
Another good choice, and I can't believe I totally missed out on this.
That's why I did it.
I saw the video on YouTube, I saw two different ones. One was the official video where it's just a cover of the 45.
Yes.
But I saw this other one where he's like lip syncing it in concert in
Or some TV show.
park or something. He's playing acoustic guitar. He's just by himself, and there's this crowd of I think freshly scrubbed college kids, all clapping offbeat through the whole
no.
song, and I just really felt for the guy.
That's
I
painful.
really, really did. And is it me, or at one point does George, who was on percussion, I'm assuming that he was the one who plays the vibes. Does he sneak in a little of the James Bond theme? Because I hear dun, dun, dun,
Oh,
dun. Go back and
conspiracy.
listen to it.
Okay.
Could be in there, but
It's the 60s. It works.
but yeah, it's just a great song. Just another one-hit wonder, but it's a hell of a one-hit.
Next track, Coconut Grove, The Lovin' Spoonful. This track comes from The Lovin' Spoonful's third studio album, Hums of the Lovin' Spoonful,
Which is just unbelievably great.
released in 1966. The goal of this album was to show that the band could perform multiple styles of music. From initial research, some critics seem to agree. I love this song because it's so sensual. We open with acoustic guitar and then an electric guitar softly playing a chord not out of place in a surf rock song. This is the ultimate island getaway late at night. A cool ocean breeze, the mad outside world doesn't matter, and you're enjoying the evening view of the beach with the person you love. A lovely song to sway to in the evening after the party has died down or you're honeymooning and everyone's gone home.
Now, did you get to listen to Dave's version? that
Yes,
sent
I
you?
did.
Any opinion?
Oh, wait, did I? No, I'm sorry. I listened to the one that he did for the Beach Boys. I got confused.
Oh, okay.
Back of the Beach Boys one. I didn't hear Dave's yet, though, but we'll definitely cover it at some point, I think.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure I either texted it to you or emailed it to you.
I don't think you emailed it to me,
Then I must have texted it.
and that's why I missed it.
Okay, so... Oh, you don't do texts?
Well, for links for the podcast, I see it in my email first.
Oh, okay.
And-
I'll try to remember that.
And thumbnails don't pop up when you text them to me, so I just see random links. So I don't know if it's for the podcast or not sometimes.
Oh, okay. I'll try to be specific.
Yeah,
next
no
time.
worries.
Yeah, so the first time I ever heard this song was David Lee Roth's version.
Mm-hmm.
And when I heard the Spoonfuls version, eventually, I was amazed at how closely Dave was following John Sebastian's vocal. It's airy. You kind of really can't tell them apart. And the thing is, I've always wanted to know what made Dave cover that song. So Dave, if you're out there and you're listening, let us know, because it's one of these mysteries that I need solved. It really is. Now, I'm assuming that John and the girl are on the beach in Coconut Grove,
Yeah.
wherever that is. The lines about no mad, mad world, and no mad hatters, no one's pitching because there ain't no batters, they always get me for some reason. They kind of sound mysterious. I mean,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's just basically him on the beach with this girl. There's
Blissed
the dunes
out.
and just, all that. You're getting sand in places you don't want to get sand. You just,
Yeah.
you got to take a shower after. Anyway, I've always found the arrangement haunting, not in like a scary way, but I hear it and just stays with me for
Yep.
quite a while. Again, just a really great song.
Next track, Strangers on the Shore, Acker Bilk. This is an instrumental written for clarinet, and Acker Bilk wrote it for his daughter Jenny on a single scrap of paper. He turned it over to arranger Leon Young, who crafted the string arrangement. It was released in 1961 in the UK and reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 UK and US singles chart, the first British recording to do so in the US, and was on the Easy Listening chart for 7 weeks. It was the UK's biggest selling single of 1962 and used as a theme for the BBC series of the same name. Lyrics were later added, apparently, and famous renditions include Andy Williams and the Drifters. I'm too scared to look it up. I know this from the scene in Mr. Holland's Opus, where he connects with struggling student Gertrude by telling her to play the sunset, and she plays without cracking a note. I think what makes this song are the lower notes of the melody, the same way the bass chords make Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. The resonance of those low notes creates an emotional resonance in me I can't explain. I also have a theory that Paul McCartney ripped off the higher notes of this piece's bridge for Obla Di, Obla Da, but that's another story. I associate this song with summer because of the sunset imagery Mr. Holland conjured up, the title, and also just the strings sounding like a swaying breeze that you get to sway to with a partner in a slow dance on a beach in paradise. Plus, it has a happy ending with those high notes trilled out in rapid succession and a wistful ending that sounds like the sun setting over the waves. Beautiful.
Not a bad instrumental. I'm not a big fan of clarinet. I don't know why. I mean, your mom, she's tried to make me a clarinet fan.
She's tried, yeah.
She bought me a 2-disc Pete Fountain
Oh, yeah, his Dixie album.
best of. And
How'd that go?
it just, I listened to the whole thing and it just wasn't happening. And I said to her, hey, would you like a 2-disc Pete Fountain set? So it's hers.
It all worked out.
She bought it for me, but it was really for
For
herself.
herself? Oh,
Yeah.
God.
It's okay, but you know what? I mean, I'm giving it to Sailing By. That song just, that just song is just great. And the thing is, like, after I mentioned that, the one thing I cannot believe I forgot to put on my list,
The theme from A Summer Place.
Theme from a
Okay.
Summer Place.
Yep.
I cannot believe I forgot about that song. All I can say is, shit. I just, I'm so mad.
Summer Place.
Yes, that one.
The Simpsons, yeah.
And also, I was more familiar with the Squeeze song Stranger than the Stranger on the Shore.
That was bizarre. I've got to really invest into that when we cover that Squeeze album.
That was from the album Sweets from a Stranger, which came after East Side Story and Argy
Really?
Bargy, or maybe it's Argy Bargy. And the thing was, when Sweets from a Stranger came out, that's when the Lennon and McCartney comparisons kind of stopped. It's an okay album, but it was kind of a shock after the previous two. It was a little more keyboard heavy and
Yeah.
a little electronic. It's not a bad album. I mean, Black Coffee and Bed's on that, so. But, yeah,
Next track, June is busting out all over.
she sure is. She needs to get bigger clothes.
Renee Fleming from the Broadway revival of Carousel. This track comes from Rodgers and Hammerstein's musical Carousel. It's one of the most famous tracks from the show, along with If I Loved You and You'll Never Walk Alone. If you know June is busting out all over at all, it's either from Family Guy or the time Leslie Uggams performed it on live TV and completely went up on the words. But to sidetrack really quick, the reason Leslie Uggams slipped up so bad was because the guy that had the cue cards with the lyrics slipped and fell in a puddle, and the cue cards got so wet the ink was running down and she couldn't read them at all. That's an example of The Show Must Go On. Anyway, I'm heavily biased for this song because my birth month is June, and June is also Pride Month. So this is the perfect song for ushering in the month in. In the context of the show, everyone is excited that it's June because it's clam bake season, and that's really all you need to know. As for Renee Fleming's version, her soprano voice just soars, especially as she does those vocalises on the word June. Every time she sings fresh, alive, and gay and young, June is a love song so sweetly sung, I melt. This version does have more instrumental breaks in accordance with the dancing going on stage, so be prepared for a lot of interludes, but it's still my start of summer go-to song.
Renee Fleming. Okay. I listened to all 6 minutes and 45 seconds of this. And this was the first thing I've ever heard by her, because I know she's like some opera singer.
Yeah, and she got the Kennedy Center honor for her work in opera, too.
And I'm sure she's a very nice lady. And the thing was, as soon as I saw this, I thought, yeah, I was wondering when a musical tune was going to show up.
We got two on here, folks.
I vaguely remembered it from Carousel because when I took I think it was American music course at Rhode Island College, we had to watch Carousel. And I thought,
that musical's aged like milk.
yeah, I thought, wow, this is a really depressing,
Yeah.
depressing musical here.
Mommy,
If I loved you, I'm kind of dead. I don't know.
Mommy, if somebody hits you and they love you, is it possible for it to not hurt?
Oh, sure, honey. That's kind of like up there with Phil Spector's "He Hit Me and It Felt Like a Kiss."
Yeah.
Anyway, but I thought Renee was a little too operatic for a song like this. Her voice seems like a little too proper and studied. Help me out here. I need to learn from the musical shows expert. I mean, it just kind of seemed out of place because I'm thinking, well, this is supposed to be kind of a down homey type of
Rough and tumble?
song. Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's just so nice and polite and straight-laced and proper, and I thought this is just quite a contrast here. So help me out here.
Well, sometimes opera singers make the transition to the world of musical theater and they still have their opera training. Fred's an example of that, so is Paulo Jot. Side note, I could have easily just said for my 10 songs, okay, here's the cast recording of South Pacific. Here you go. Those are my 10 songs. But I didn't do that.
There's that Hattie song, Ain't That Too Damn Bad?
Yeah.
Bally High, Gonna Wash
That man right out of my hair.
Some
Jones
enchanted
picked.
evening, which Uncle Michael sang
Yep.
over and over and over because he had that lead role.
Anyway, but back to Renee Fleming. It just might be a matter of personal taste with you liking her voice or not suited to this one. I don't particularly mind it. I think it took an adjustment for me, but once I got over it, I was on board with her singing it.
Yeah, I couldn't get over it. I mean, like I said, I'm sure she's a great opera singer. I mean,
Yep.
you can tell by the way she sings. It's
Yep.
very studied and classical, but it just wasn't happening. But,
Okay.
I'm reading this thing won quite a few awards.
Yeah, it did. Oh, did you watch the Leslie Uggams clip I sent you?
No, I completely forgot. I'm sorry, but what's this
Oh.
about Family Guy?
Yeah, Family Guy did a cover of it once.
Really? Stewie?
No, it was Peter.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Next track, Song of Purple Summer from Spring Awakening. This is the closing number from Spring Awakening, the 2006 musical written by Duncan Sheik and Steven Sater, based on the 1891 German play of the same name. This play does not shy away from discussing topics including sexual assault, atheism, homosexuality, suicide, and abortion.
Is that all?
No, there's more. More importantly, about how not being fully honest with teenagers about becoming adults can lead to dangerous outcomes. The Song of Purple Summer is supposed to be about how seeds are being planted for a new, open-minded generation. I think what makes this a summer song for me is the imagery of nature. The earth waving with corn, the flowers in bloom, the butterfly opening the summer with a flutter of its wings. Also the imagery of swaying fences and porch swings, which take me back to summers on Jaju's porch on Center Street. Plus the four-part harmonies sung by the cast are exquisite. A calming, chill summer song to listen to on the porch on a sunny day.
All right, so the big question for me with this song is, are they really trying to rhyme the words wonder and summer?
It's an assonance.
And that means
Rhyming of vowels.
rhyming
Yeah.
as opposed to the whole word, and
Yes.
assonance.
Yep.
Assonance. And not asinine, assonance. Okay, so I did a little research on this, and I guess this is the last song in the musical
Yep.
from what I saw.
Yep.
Because I guess, it's supposed to be spring moving on to summer, and I found myself moving on from this one. I tried really hard concentrating. I really did, because I know you are like big into musicals and this is important to you. But I kind of found my mind wandering while this one was on. But I really, okay, I should listen to it again. Okay, I should listen to it. Okay, that's enough, because, Now, I have to say,
Yep.
for you listeners out there of a certain age, our Purple Summer was 1984.
With Prince?
Oh, Purple Rain had come out the end of June. It went to #1, and it stayed there for
Forever.
24 weeks.
I think I'm going to say years for a second.
So if only. So we're looking at the end of 1984. It's December of 1984, and Purple Rain is still freaking #1. Nothing was going to move that out until something did. I don't know what it was. I'm afraid to find out. But, oh man. And I thought, wow, it really made me want to listen to Purple Rain all over again, because that album is just so perfect.
Okay, well, you're
So
welcome.
Purple Summer was good for that.
You're welcome for that, I guess.
It brought
yeah.
me back to 1984. So thank you.
Final track. I didn't know what to pick, and then I thought of the song and went, yes, I Go to Rio, Peter Allen. This song was written by Peter Allen and Adrian Anderson. It was released in 1976 on his 4th studio album. It went to #1 in Australia for 5 weeks, but failed to chart in the U.S.
What's wrong with us?
I don't know. It's been mostly used in movie soundtracks, One Crazy Summer, The Fabulous Baker Boys, and Strange Bedfellows, to name a few. And believe it or not, was covered by Peggy Lee, which I haven't heard.
I could kind of see her doing that, yeah.
It was also the closing number in the Peter Allen bio-musical The Boy from Oz, starring Hugh Jackman. This is a happy, feel-good song. Peter's love smiles at him and he's in paradise. He can't control himself and feels like doing the samba and the bamba. He admits he's not the kind of person who succumbs to these fits of passion, but has to follow the impulses of his heart. Reminds me of the classic musical theater rule. When the emotions are so heightened you can no longer speak, you sing, and when they're so heightened you can no longer sing, you dance. I thought this song was so fun as a kid, but Peter's pronunciation for years had me thinking that instead of "the sun lightens up my life," he was singing "she shines the lanterns of my life." What helps with the summer vibe is the whistle sounding like a lifeguard at the beach, the guitar riff, and the backup singers who sound like dancers on a cruise ship show or at the Copacabana. But this is better than Copacabana.
anything's better than Copacabana. Yeah, this is a fun tune. When I saw this, and then I found a video of him playing it at the piano,
Yes.
and I thought, if you can resist this song, I don't know you. I just don't even want to know you. But I think the thing about this song is I'm pretty sure everyone knows the line, when my baby smiles at me, I go to Rio de Janeiro. Anyway, the video, that was fun. It
Yep.
was a hoot.
Yep.
It was hilarious. I mean, he's just so into it, and
Yep.
his fun is infectious.
It is.
I do have to confess that at first I was a little more familiar with the Pablo Cruz version,
Which I've never heard.
which I didn't send to you. You're welcome. It's competent, but Peter's is way better. It's just so spirited, and the way Pete just sings it, it's just.
Yeah.
I mean, Pablo Cruz, it's kind of like they're almost textbook, but Pete just brings it. And I also have to ask, do you think anyone ever called him Pete?
I just hear Peter mostly.
Okay,
I don't know.
and yeah, just a fun song, just flat out fun. And I have to say it.
Okay.
Don't do it, Wolverine.
Listeners, look up that joke. You will find it hilarious. All right, as always, thank you for listening to Listen Stone. My dad listens to this. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Because remember, the more you interact with the episode, the greater chance you have of appearing on the YouTube homepage. If you follow me on social media, I post the episodes there. If you're friends with my dad, tell him what you want to listen to, and he'll send it to your inbox. As always, thank you for listening to Listen Stone. My dad listens to this. We'll be back next time with another tribute episode. God help us, we really needed this break.
Stop dying, people.
Please, Dad, anything you want to say before we sign off?
Theme from a summer place. From a summer place. It's the theme. All right, next.
Yep.